Hey everyone, welcome back to the garage. I'm Brian.
I'm Austin.
I'm Ashton.
It's been a good 3 or 4 weeks since we put out a video. We've kind of been busy playing, doing some summer things, going to the lake and fishing and stuff. So we figured for our audience, it's time to get another video out and ready. So I was on the interwebs the other day, looking around on like Marketplace or Let Go or something, and I seen this guy was getting rid of a mini bike for like super dirt cheap. It's an old 70cc mini bike. It also came with some kind of Kawasaki engine, which I have no idea what it's for. He says it runs, but we'll look into that in here in a little bit. I'll show you guys what we're into. This is it right here. I think it's the 80cc version. It's called a Motovox. I'm not too familiar with these. In our garage, we work on the Coleman bikes, but can't be anything different than a Coleman bike, so we'll get it out. We're gonna get it on the stand. We're gonna get it tore apart. This is that Kawasaki engine I was telling you about. It doesn't say what horsepower is on it or anything. He said it's a running engine, so maybe we'll mess with that and see if we can get it started. But for right now, we'll get this thing. We're gonna get her out, get her on the stand, and we'll do a quick walkthrough around of what's missing. We're going to probably get a list of parts that we're going to need. I know it's missing like a tensioner. I know the axle is like, doesn't even have the freaking bolt in it. So we're probably going to need some kind of axle parts. We're going to take the engine out. We don't want an 80cc engine. We're going to put 212 in there. So without further ado, we're going to get it out of the truck. Next time we'll see you guys, we'll be looking at it on the stand. Alright guys, we got it up on the stand. It's definitely not in the greatest shape, that's for sure. Somebody had the axle bolt off, so now the axle's not in the frame where it's supposed to be. Might be able to reuse that. Engine's definitely shot. As Austin pointed out, he was looking, the spark plug's not even in there. So who knows how long this thing was sitting without a spark plug in it. The seat, I don't think that's the original seat. We'll have to look them up and find out.
Usually the original seat's all red.
Yeah, so that's probably not the same right seat. It's really dirty. Somebody had the bolt out of the front axle. Don't know why. As you can tell, the handlebars are definitely not the ones that belong with it, like off of a bicycle. Yeah, I don't know much about these Motovox. I'll have to look it up and see who makes them and where we can get parts at. But we're going to ditch this engine anyhow, because I believe we've been looking on some other videos that a 212 actually will fit in this frame. Austin says yes. Alright, so we're going to ditch the engine. We're going to clean her up. We're going to paint it. I think there's supposed to be a tensioner right here, a chain tensioner. That's no longer there. I mean, it does turn over, but still a piece of crap. I think we'll... can't really hydro dip anything, but so that's what our plan is right now. Get it tore apart. We're going to make a list of what parts we need, and we're going to see if we can make this thing nice and fast, and we're going to go ahead and flip it. We got it for cheap. We're going to see if we can make some money off of it. So without further ado, sit back and relax and watch us dig into this project. Alright guys, we got this pretty much tore down to bare bones. The only thing left is the brake caliper to take off of it. But other than that, there's a lot of strip bolts. There's the brake caliper. A lot of strip bolts. A lot of bolts missing. A lot of stuff doesn't make sense on this bike, but that's okay. We're going to push forward. We're going to dub this bike Project Black and Blue. Austin figured out we'll do a black and blue paint scheme on it. And that's what we're going to do. So right now, it's still daylight out. We're going to get this frame out, get it cleaned, get it pressure washed, rip this seat off that doesn't make any sense at all. Handlebars off of some kid's bike, which we'll have to figure out what we're going to do there. We're going to order throttle cable, brake lines, maybe a new kill switch, another brake cable for that one. Engine, we're not worried about the engine. Fenders, the triple trees, missing some bolts there, missing the bolts on the freaking rear wheel. Seems like we're missing a lot of stuff, but that's okay. We're going to keep this the cheapest build as we can. We're going to try to shop on Amazon and find all the parts we can find on Amazon to put this together as cheaply as possible. And this way we can get a good turnaround on this bike. So for right now, I think we're going to take it outside. We'll spray it down with some spray nine, get it cleaned up, get it degreased. I don't know if we'll get it sanded tonight, but I think tonight we'll just get it cleaned up and get it prepped for primer and some paint. So stick around. This should be turning out a pretty good bike. Alright guys, here's that Kawasaki engine that came with the bike. The guy says it runs. We spun it over, it has some spark. I think what we're going to do now, just for fun, we're going to throw some gas in it. We're going to take it outside, and we're going to see if we can get it started. I'm not going to use it on the bike, but if it runs, I might be able to sell it and maybe get some money for it to put towards the bike. So what Austin and I are going to do now, we're going to throw some gas in it. We're going to take it outside, we're going to crank it over, and we're going to see what happens. Hey, is that a socket?
That's a socket.
Alright, we got a free socket with it. We're going to throw some gas in it, let's see what happens. Alright, Austin, throw some gas in it. And we'll crank it over. Chances are it probably won't run, the car probably needs cleaned. It's probably been sitting forever. But we figured, what the heck, we'll give it a shot. It has spark. I can guarantee it probably won't run.
I don't know which way to choke.
I don't know which way to choke either. Probably choke is probably all that way. Throttle is probably full. Want me to put my foot on and hold it? It was on. Hold on. Let me help hold it with you. going to be an epic fail, I'm sure. But we figured we'd give it a try. That'd be full throttle there. No, up is idle. That should, no, up is idle. Down is full throttle.
Okay.
Okay, put it down, and we'll see what happens. Ah.
Try to choke the other way.
Yeah. I guess I'm starting fluid. See what happens. Ooh. Whoa. It does run. Wow. All right. The wrong way with it.
Ups. And there's a lot of stuff coming out of the exhaust too.
Now it's been sitting for a while. I can't believe it runs. I thought up was more throttle, right? I was wrong with it. You put up more throttle. Ooh, is it hot?
It's getting hot.
All right, we'll do it one more time, then we'll be done with it. Please a choke again.
Choke. I think choke's this way.
Yeah, I think that's full choke. Here, I'll put my foot and hold it again. I guess not. Wait, hold on. I might hit the switch.
Switch kind of doesn't work.
Yeah, switch isn't working too well. We'll give it one more shot. At least we know it runs. I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but... Well, we got a working engine with it. Came with the deal. I'm not going to use it though, but I'll probably hold on to it for another project or just sell it. But anyhow,
it runs.
It runs. All right, good enough. Hey guys, it's the next day. We're going to do some finishing the tear down of the frame. As you can see, Austin's over here taking some parts off the frame yet. We're going to get it ready and scuffed up for primer. We're trying to get all the parts off we can. Got all the stickers off. Going to get it cleaned up. Got the fenders off. Got the handlebars off. Even though they're the right handlebars, I think we're still going to paint them up also. They kind of look alright, so they fit good. Now we're going to hydro dip the fenders. We'll show you guys how we do that. So, Austin's cleaning up tools. I got primer. I got my pads here. And we're going to scuff this frame all up, get it ready for some primer. I'm going to use some white primer. We're going to do like a blue and black theme on this bike. Usually if you have like a primer that's like a lighter primer, I'm going to use a white. Usually your top color will be more brighter. And if you use a darker primer, your top color will be a little bit darker. So I want these blues to pop, so I'm going to use some white primer on these. So without further ado, we're going to get to work. We're going to get it scuffed up. We're going to get it primed. We're going to let it sit overnight, 24 hours before we start putting color on it. After we put color on it, then we're going to probably do a little bit of wet sanding on it, and we're going to put clear on it. This way it turns out pretty good. So our next step is to get to work on scuffing this thing up and getting some primer on it. Alright guys, now we have all of our stuff scuffed up. Our frame, our handlebars, our triple trees, our sprocket. We have everything hanging up right now on an awesome setup. You're going to love it. This way we can spray it. It's going to be awesome. This is the freaking Spray Holder 9000. Right now we got our sprocket, got our triple trees, got our frame, got our handlebars. We got extension ladder all the way across to the fence onto my trailer, and that should hold it just perfect to get this done. So now we're going to lay down some primer, a couple coats, let it dry about 24 hours. After it dries, then we're going to start laying down some color. Also, let's go see Austin here real quick. We have our fenders here. That one's ready to go. That one's ready to go. We have all of our hardware ready to go. We got some foot pegs, a couple springs here. Well, we'll get to those. Kickstand. All's going to get primered, painted. This way it should look pretty good. So, next step, we're going to start laying down some primer. You ready, buddy?
Yes.
Alright guys, it's the next day. As you can see, our primer has dried on our fenders, rear fender, front fender, hardware, the clips, handlebar clips, kickstands, our foot pegs, everything else is dry for 24 hours. We're going to start shooting some color on here. We have 3 different colors here, 3 different blues. I got McCall blue. We got some deep blue. Is that what it's called? Yeah. And some navy blue. So what our plan is to fade this bike between 3 different colors. So we're going to start with the lightest color, right, Austin?
Lightest color to darkest color.
Okay. Even on the frame, too.
Yes.
Alright, so lightest color, darkest color. I'm not sure what we're going to do with these yet. We'll figure that out. But what we're going to try to do is do a fade. So let's go over to the frame. I shot the frame again, need a little bit more. So our plan is to start the fender. It's going to be right here as the lightest. Then we're kind of fade into the middle color. Then we're going to go to the darkest color at the rear end. So that's our plan. I got the triple trees up there. I got the sprocket. I got the handlebars. So that's our plan for right now. So we're going to shoot some color on these. Then we're going to clear coat them really good. And it should turn out pretty awesome. I think this bike's going to turn out pretty cool. Plus we got a Predator 212 we're going to put on it. We're going to put a nice header on it. We got stage 1 kit we're going to put on it. It's going to turn out pretty good. So I'll start shooting some color on these fenders and some parts, and we'll get this project underway. Alright guys, we have a couple coats of color on our front fender, our rear fender, and we decided to do all of our hardware in do black. Austin decided we're going to do black. He thought it might offset a little bit. We got a couple coats on here, we'll do a couple more. We're going to let them dry it, really good in between. But so far, everything's looking pretty good with our fade. Start with the lightest blue, work our way to the darkest blue. The frame's still drying. We'll probably do that tomorrow. We're going to finish these coats tonight. Let these sit for a good 24, 48 hours. Even longer, depends how long it takes to put the bike back together. I got a bunch of parts in today to finish this bike off. So far so good. It's not looking bad. We'll continue on. The next time you'll see us, we'll be putting some color on the frame. Alright guys, well, change of plans. Austin decided to get some spray paint into one of the cups and use a brush and flick a different color blue on there. I'll see if you can see it in the camera, but it's not looking too bad actually. It kind of gives it a little bit more depth. So I think what we'll do with the front fender is the same thing he's doing with the rear one. The darker blue with the lighter, and we're going to go with the lighter blue, and we're going to put darker on it. So it's not, you get to see if I can get a good camera position here. It's not turning out too bad when you flick that paint on. Looks pretty cool. So I think we're just going to roll with that for now. He also did the black. Flick some of the blue on there also. See if you can see it. That's going to be our plan for the rear fender and front fender. So
We're still going to do the fade on the frame though, right?
yeah, we're still doing the fade on the frame, but that looks pretty sick. So we're just going to roll with that. We'll start flicking this one next as soon as he finishes this one with the brush. As you can see how he's doing it. It looks pretty sick actually. we're going to keep rolling with that. So I'll show you when he does the next one. Alright, here we go, guys. We're going to do the darker blue on the lighter blue, and we're going to flick it on and see how it works. It's not looking too bad. Alright, so we're going to keep this process rolling of flicking the paint on. We'll keep moving on with it, and I'll show you guys here in a couple of minutes what it looks like. But other than that, it's not looking too bad. It's a little bit different. Something to try. I'll check back with you guys in a couple of minutes and see how it looks. Alright guys, it's getting kind of late, so we're going to wrap it up for tonight. But anyhow, this is what it looks like with Austin when he splattered the paint on with the paintbrush. Looks pretty good. Something a little bit different. Give the old splattered look. So, oh, it's getting darker out. I can see the blue one maybe a little bit better. It's awfully shiny. But anyhow, that's what we're going to do. Something a little bit different to try. Looks pretty good. So we're going to keep moving forward. And we'll see you guys tomorrow. Well, here's Open Garage. We always have little friends that like to visit. We're out here working. I'll show here. I'll try to zoom in.
Yeah. Tough basically.
Got a little fawn coming up.
He doesn't care.
Yeah, where we're at, they're used to people. So it's not unusual to have a fawn or any kind of deer just walk up on you and see what you're doing. Mom's around here somewhere. I'm not sure where she's at.
She went that way.
She went that way? Alright. Yeah, we've seen this little one before. She's been around a lot. She's a new one this year. So, we're going to go back to work, and we'll see you guys tomorrow. Alright guys, while the paint is drying, we're going to do some other maintenance on this bike. When I got the bike, this bearing was completely missing. The other one was pretty shot. I'll show it to you. I'm not sure where it got to. Well, it was around there somewhere. So we got that bearing out. I did order new bearings. This bearing is like definitely stuck in there. So what Austin's doing, we're going to get our Dremel tool. We're going to cut a little bit of a slit. I'm not sure if you guys can see it. We're going to cut a slit in there. That way you can release some of the pressure to try to get this bearing out. So that's our next step. When he gets that back on there, we'll see if we can get this cut a little bit more and kind of get this bearing pushed out. This way we can get our new bearings put in. Alright, so we finished up with our Dremel tool. Finally got it out. This thing was in there freaking pretty good. So we cut a slit in it, like we showed you, and just basically tapped it out from the other side. And once my new bearings show up, we will probably put them in the freezer. That way it sinks them up, lay them in there, and we should be good to go. So, our next step now is we're going to show you how we're going to finish painting our frame up since it's ready to go. Alright, so our next step is to start painting our frame. As you can see, I already painted the underneath. This way I can set it on the table and start from the top. So what our plan is to actually fade the paint from lightest to like a medium color blue to a dark color blue in the fender and stuff. So it's kind of fade. It's going to fade right through the bike. That's what we're trying to do. So we've got our fenders nice and cleared. This is the rear fender. It's going to be the darkest. This is the front fender, the lightest. That's what we're going to try to do with this. and it should turn out pretty good. We're going to try our best. So without further ado, let's start laying some color on this frame. Alright guys, we're going to call it a night for tonight. Pretty much got the frame all finished. Hope you can see it on the camera. We got the light blue fading into like a medium color blue, and as we get back further to the bike, we got like a navy dark blue on it. So we kind of followed that theme, and Austin took the black spray paint and just held it very little, and if you look, see if you can get it, you can see the black specks on it. Kind of what we're looking for. Looks pretty darn good. So we're gonna let this cure for a couple days. I'm not sure what our next step is, but you'll see it on the video. Probably get some assembly ready, get some more parts put together. But other than that, I think it turned out pretty good for our first time fading spray paint. Let's walk over to Austin here. He's also did our triple trees. He also faded that with the lighter blue on the darker blue. He also put the black speck on it from the spray paint can. Also with our sprocket. Not sure if you can see that too well, but same process there. And we're going to finish up. Kind of be done. He's going to show you how he's doing it. Just do it very lightly that it comes out, and you get that like splattered effect. Let's see if you can get in there and look at it. Yep, looks pretty good. Alright guys, thanks for sticking around. Like I said, not sure what the next step is, but we'll figure that out. Alright guys, we're going to get our engine ready. We got this Predator 212 we just picked up recently that we were going to build, but I think we're just going to put it on the bike that we're doing right now. So Austin, let's get it out of the box, and what we're going to do is going to get the side cover off, and we're going to get it hydro dipped. So this is the non-Hemi version. I'm sure all you guys know right now the 212 is super hard to get, and I actually found one. It's non-Hemi, but it'll work for this. So we're going to get it opened up. We're going to get the side cover off so we can get it hydro dipped, and we're going to put the stage 1 kit on it a while. We're going to get it all prepped and ready to go. This way, once our paint is done curing, we're going to let it cure for one more day, and this way this engine will be ready. So let's get it ready.
The seal is gonna be broke.
we got our stage 1 kit on, as you watched us do. It's the first part, getting this engine ready. The next thing we're going to do, get the fan shroud. We're going to get it all scuffed up, ready for some primer. And we're going to hydro dip it, some blues and some other colors, I'm not sure yet. But that's our first start to getting our engine ready to go into the frame. So, next step, let's get this thing ready for scuffing and some paint. Alright guys, we're going to hydro dip our fan shroud. We got 3 different colors. We're going to use a blue, a metallic silver, and some black. So, you guys seen us do this before in our other videos, and we're going to keep it up because we like it. It turns out good. So, sit back and watch us do this. Too much silver. Get some blue in there. If it doesn't turn out, we'll do it again. Some more black in there. Gotta come back. Put a little bit of silver in there.
We're ready.
A little bit of black in there. Okay.
Ready?
We'll let it come back in. And Austin's gonna full send it. Let's go. Full send.
Ready?
Yep. Okay. Show them. Didn't turn out too bad. All right. All right, guys, we're going to replace our bearings. We got one side in already over here. Good to go. We just pulled them out of the freezer so they go in a little bit easier. We have them in a deep freeze overnight. Austin's going to put the other side in. They go in a lot easier when you have them in the freezer. Okay, we got new bearings in on both sides. Next thing we're going to do is get this tire mounted to the freaking frame, and we're going to move on from there. Alright guys, we got the new bearings in. We have our sprocket that's freshly painted. Austin's going to get the sprocket mounted a while, and on the other side we're going to put the brake rotor on, and we're going to keep moving forward on this bike. We're going to start getting it back together, and it should turn out pretty sweet. Alright guys, it's been a while since you've seen us. It's been, I don't know, 3 or 4 days. We've been trying to get more parts in. I didn't really realize how many parts were missing on this mini bike when I got it. There was axle bearings missing, there was axle spacers missing, and it took a while to get all that stuff tracked down. Some of it's hard to find because they don't even stock it anymore, so I had to make my own parts. So, let's give you an overview of what we got going on. We got our new 212. We have a chain tensioner, aftermarket, because I can't seem to find the chain tensioner that comes with the bike. Some new brake cables, got a new chain, other stuff, throttle, some wiring in there, on and off switch, brake handle, new clutch, new brake caliper, all my painted parts, front forks, handlebars, both fenders, rear axle, bolt, whatever you want to call it. All my hardware is painted and everything else. We're pretty much ready to throw this thing together. What we're going to do is get this thing into a rolling chassis. Then once we get all of our parts and stuff on, then we're going to get our 212 on here. Obviously, if you guys know you built these before, you got to get it on. You got to set it just right, drill new holes. That's why you need a chain tensioner, because there ain't much room in here to move the engine back and forth to tension the chain up. So we're going to keep moving forward. We're going to start putting this thing together, and hopefully this thing turns out pretty good. Sit back and relax, guys. Alright guys, we're making some real good progress on this bike. We're going to mock up the engine right now. Got the clutch on it. Everything's set to go. Only thing I do now is get the chain on, back to the rear sprocket, get that wrapped around, get it nice and lined up. This way, it's all lined up. I got a tension. I'll put the tensioner on, and I'll mark my holes. I put masking tape down here just to protect the paint. So, get it all lined up. Chain on, tensioner on, then I can mark my holes, drill them, put the bolts in, and we should be looking pretty good to get the chain set up. I mean, it's turned out pretty good so far. It's got to get the clutch lined up with the sprocket, with the chain, and that will be pretty good for our drivetrain. We're going to keep moving forward, and it's turning out pretty good. Alright, well, I got my chain made. It doesn't look too bad. Not sure if I'm going to need a tensioner or not. I don't think I will. Next step now is to get my engine bolts, get them marked out. I got some painter's tape here to protect the paint. This way I can see what I'm doing. Get these marked, get them ovaled. This way I have adjustment. And get this engine mounted. And we'll keep moving on from there. As soon as we get that done, probably isn't much more left other than get the seat on. And I have all the controls. I got new throttle, on and off, brake. That all come next. Got the aftermarket exhaust here ready to go. So, moving forward, let's get these engine holes marked and drilled. Okay, well, I got my new mounting holes in here. It's kind of crude. I didn't really have the right tools to get it, but I got it, and I think it should work just fine. Get the holes in, my chain's ready, my clutch is ready. I'm going to get the engine set in there. I'm going to get it lined up with the front sprocket with the rear sprocket. Get it tightened down, and we should be good to go. It's pretty good. Like I said, it looks kind of crude, but hey, it is what it is. And we're going to keep moving forward. Let's get the engine in. Alright guys, I got the engine bolted up to the frame, nice and tight. Actually, the way it's looking, I don't think we're going to need to run a chain tensioner. I mean, this thing's pretty good. I don't see a reason why we would need to run one. But we'll run it for a little bit and see what happens. Looks like it's tracking pretty straight with the other one, with the clutch. My exhaust fits on the frame, or fixed on, doesn't hit the frame. It's hitting the strap a little bit, but that's alright. Next thing we're going to do is start putting our hand controls on. Getting our brake line ran back here. Got a brand new caliper. Our side cover, we're going to get that hydro dipped. Pretty much everything else is getting close. Oh yeah, the seat. I got to order a new seat. Or recover the seat that I have. But anyhow, a new seat. Other than that, it's looking pretty good. Making some good progress, taking our time, making it nice and sweet. Sit back, relax, keep watching us. We're going to put some other stuff on, and we're going to take it out for a rip, and we're going to see what kind of speed we can get out of it. Alright guys, that's going to wrap it up for tonight. We made a lot of progress tonight on this bike. Got it mounted, chain tension, exhaust on, everything's lined up. I'll go to this side. New brakes on, brake caliper, everything's brand new. All the lines are in. Got the throttle on, new brake. New throttle, on and off switch. It's not wired in yet. We'll get to there. Not a big deal. But everything else is super good to go. Throttle's good. Everything's moving real good. Brake's moving real good. It's not too bad. We made a lot of progress tonight. And the only thing we got to do now is get the seat on, which I got to order one. And hydro dip the side cover, which I said you guys were going to do that. We'll probably show that tomorrow and get that on. That way we get this thing buttoned up and ready to go and get ready for a road test. So, as usual, sit back, relax, and we'll keep moving on. Alright guys, we're on our last and final step of this bike build. Pretty much everything's buttoned up on the bike. So what we're going to do now is hydro dip the fan shroud. You've seen us do this in some of our other videos. So it's nothing new, but I figured I'd just show you guys anyhow. We're going to do some black and blue and do a spot of red right there at the very end. So let's see how this turns out right at the very end. Let's see how this turns out. We did it a little bit ago, it kind of failed, so we redid it. So we're going to do it again, see. how it works. Pretty simple. It's windy out, so if you can't hear me, sorry. And right at the very end, we're going to put a little spot of red. Just to see what happens. Alright, go ahead and grab it. Ashton's going to grab it. Try to dip it. Dip that part right where the red is. Yep. Take your time. Go slow. Good. Good, good, good. Oops. I'm getting pain on myself now. Alright, pull it out. Perfect. Exactly what I wanted. Hopefully you guys can see it. Turned out real good. Let me find my remote. My remote's in here. Alright. Alright guys, we're on our last step of this build, is actually getting the seat recovered. When we got the seat, it was in pretty bad shape. Must have been sitting out in the sun forever, and it was all messed up. So I tried to look for a new seat and order one, but they're kind of hard to find. So I figured, you know, we'll get some material and we'll recover the seat. So I'm not the best at this, but I'm going to give it my best shot. Hopefully it turns out. I don't know. We'll figure it out, but it can't be that hard. Just put some staples in it, wrap it with some, I got some kind of like leather or something from Walmart, whatever it is, just to get it covered. So hopefully, don't judge me on this one. It should be pretty interesting. So let's get this seat covered so we can get this bike buttoned up and ready to test drive. Alright guys, hopefully you can hear me with my helmet on. Now that we're all finished off with the bike, we're going to do our top speed run like we do with all of our bikes after we do mods to them or do anything else, any kind of work on them. We're at our proving grounds, if you want to call it. You probably in our past videos have seen this stretch of road before, and we're going to hit it again. I got my app on for my Speedo app. It's going to hit start. I'm going to put my gloves on. I'm going to go down and come back, and we'll see how fast we're going here. Get in there so it don't come out. I don't know what this thing's going to do. Seems pretty fast. But we're going to figure that out now. Well, see you guys on the other side. Alright, well she's breaking up a little bit. We're going to have to do some tuning on the carburetor. We kind of knew that with the stage 1 kit we're going to do some tuning. But we just want to get a baseline right now to see how fast we were going. And we got 28 miles an hour out of it. It's not too bad. I think with a little bit of extra tuning, we might get 30, 35 out of it. Take the governor off, we'll get 40, 45 out of it. But it's not bad for a baseline just to start out for our first, not our first project, but one of these Motovox projects. We're usually working on the Coleman bikes and some other stuff and four-wheelers, but this turned out to be a great project. So let me take this off because it's hot. So as usual guys, please like, please subscribe, please share our videos to promote our channel. The more you guys get us out there, the more projects we can do for you. So thanks for watching. Austin's behind the camera. Austin, you can go ahead and say goodbye.
Goodbye, everybody.
Alright guys, like I said, we're going to put our description, our Facebook in the description too. Please check out our fan page. We're going to probably do some t-shirts here soon if you guys are interested in some t-shirts. We're going to try to get some merch out there. So as usual, stay safe, and we'll see you guys on our next build.